Good, happy Tuesday morning, August 6th, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Hudson Police investigating smash and grabs at Benson Park. Purse stolen from 3 vehicles, police say. Hudson police are investigating several smash and grab incidents at a local park Monday. Between 6 and 6:45 p.m., multiple vehicles were vandalized in the parking lot of Benson Park, police said. The suspect or suspects smashed a window on 3 vehicles and took purses from all 3, according to police. The suspect or suspects appeared to be targeting vehicles with visible purses that were easily accessible. It is unknown if the suspect or suspects left on foot or in a vehicle, police said. Anyone with information about these crimes is asked to please contact Officer Andrew Valcourt at 603-886-6011 or a Valcourt at hudsonnewhampshire.gov. Anonymous tips can be given to the crime line at 603-594-1150. Police urge people to lock personal belongings in the trunk of a car or bring them along when leaving a vehicle unattended in public places. Advocates call on governor to sign gun bills. Bills would expand background checks, impose waiting period, ban guns in school zones. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
The largest zipline and off-road adventure destination in New England, along with great lodging, restaurants, and so much more in Lincoln Woodstock, base camp at the beautiful White Mountains. Alpine Adventures, 300 acres of awesome. Visit alpinezipline.com. It was about as big as a news conference can get. Lawmakers, activists, campaign workers, and concerned citizens came together Monday to call on Governor Chris Sununu to sign a trio of gun control bills in the wake of several mass shootings.
Governor Sununu, be the leader we know you can be. Allow these bills to become law and make New Hampshire safer for all our families. The time for prayers after the fact is over.
The 3 bills on their way to the governor's desk are HB 109, which would expand background checks to all commercial sales, HB 514, which would mandate a 3-day waiting period on firearms purchases, and HB 564, which would ban guns in school zones.
Gun-free school zones, thorough background checks, and 3-day waiting periods interrupt no one's rights and keep everyone safer.
But there are sharp disagreements on those points. Counter-protesters also crowded into the Legislative Office building. Brendan Robinson came armed, saying he did it to make a point.
Is to demonstrate that it's legal in the state of New Hampshire to open carry a gun. The idea is to basically show that it's within my constitutional rights to do so. There is no intent other than political protest.
While Robinson and others believe their rights are under siege, activists contend it's innocent people who are most at risk.
To do nothing in the face of this is unacceptable.
In a statement to the media, Governor Chris Sununu says, quote, "I was horrified by the senseless acts of hate and violence this past weekend. What we must say unequivocally is that hate, white supremacy, and acts of domestic terror have no place in New Hampshire or anywhere in this country." In that statement, no mention of the specific bills, which we are told are now with the Secretary of State's office, which means they will be heading to the governor's desk very soon. Reporting live in Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Concord School District introducing policies following arrest of former teacher. Parents, community members address school board with their concerns. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
Out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Well, Tom, the school board already approved an independent investigation. That won't be complete when the school year starts, but new policies should be in place. Parents and community members went before the Concord School Board again, urging changes before students return to class.
Raise your hand or stand if you are able to show solidarity with the students.
The board is introducing 6 new or revised policies for student safety, bullying, abuse, and how to communicate complaints against staff, something drawn into question after the arrest of former special education teacher Primo Howie Leung. In April, he was accused of sexually assaulting a former middle school student in Concord and at a camp in Massachusetts. Before his arrest, he was allowed to stay on the job despite reports from students alleging inappropriate behavior.
It is not okay anymore from this point forward, nor was it then, to not report physical and sexual assault. And if you feel that I am angry, I am angry.
The school board says policies and staff training will help protect students. Professionals offered their expertise.
It's very important that staff and teachers receive training on understanding how the trauma of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and bullying affects students.
No more will this district allow sexual assault or the reporting of potential sexual assault to be dismissed.
And while the independent investigation into how the school district handled the teacher complaints continues, the high school principal remains on voluntary leave. Live in Concord tonight, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Amherst police investigating armed robbery at Dunkin'. Amherst police are investigating a robbery at a business Monday evening. The incident occurred at a Dunkin' restaurant on Route 101A. Police have not released further details about the incident or a suspect at this time. Stay with us for updates to this story. Hooksett Planning Board approves plan to build possible Amazon facility. The board approved the plan with certain conditions. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Whale's Tail is New England's favorite water park. Free parking, free tube rentals, and unbeatable value. An easy ride up 93 for a fantastic day together.
Catch the wave, catch the wave, catch the wave, catch the wave. Whale's Tail Water Park Wave.
This former BJ's Wholesale Club on Quality Drive in Hooksett is slated to become the new home of a major distribution center. Both the company representing the possible future tenant and the property owner declined on-camera interviews and wouldn't confirm who might move in. But a planning board member says it's Amazon.
There's no question, it's Amazon. And we're happy to have them. Really happy to have them. They're going to be serving all of New Hampshire, Western Maine, and the state of Vermont.
Tonight, the Hooksett Planning Board voted to approve the plan with conditions on snow removal, landscaping, and signage. The facility, located in a commercial area of town, would be a delivery station for Amazon.
It's very similar to what FedEx and UPS does, same idea.
It would be a 24/7 operation and employing about 400 people. Supporters on the planning board say it would be a big boost for the region.
It's going to be a tremendous asset, not only for Hooksett, but the whole Manchester region. It's going to create several hundred new jobs.
But not everyone on the board agrees.
Now you're asking us to put an Amazon distribution center in the middle of our retail district and add 2,813 cars a day to the traffic, which will only deter more people.
Those proposing the plan say a non-disclosure agreement prevents them from talking about it further.
This particular operation is very close to an interstate interchange, and so the traffic can move in and out fairly freely, and it can distribute in many directions.
In Hooksett, Mike Cronin, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Former police commissioner convicted of role in shooting. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Candia Springs is New England's newest adventure park, featuring an aerial challenge course, all-new guided zipline tour, water park, water challenge course, and off-roading. One location for one low price. Minutes from Manchester and the seacoast. Visit CandiaSprings.com.
Well, tonight, the former Portsmouth Police Commissioner has been found guilty of several charges for her role in a shooting. 44-year-old Brenna Kavanaugh was convicted on attempted assault and criminal mischief after her partner shot a pickup truck driven by a teenager who mistakenly thought the couple's home was a party venue. Her partner, Mark Gray, awaits trial on several charges.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester program provides support for children who experience trauma. Program developed in wake of opioid crisis. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cherry.
When the opioid epidemic exploded in Manchester, officers say they noticed a disturbing trend when responding to domestic calls.
And they were noticing that there were children in the home that were really affected by whether it was an overdose or a domestic violence situation, and a lot of officers were leaving literally shaking their heads going, what more can we do for these kids?
In 2015, a partnership between Manchester PD, Muskeg Health, and the YWCA blossomed, creating the Adverse Childhood Experiences Response Team, ACERT for short. The teams consist of officers and clinical therapists, which make follow-up visits to homes where children experience traumatic events.
When trauma is present, something happens in our brains that causes us to go into a fight or flight mode, and that happens with children and that happens with adults.
According to a study by the Strategic Plan Work Group, 1 in 4 children have experienced at least one traumatic event in their lives. Clinicians say those effects can be short or long term, but without the proper nurturing, adverse health problems could arise.
Things like physical, sexual, and emotional abuse and neglect, as well as what researchers have coined as household dysfunction.
A-Cert Services requires a call to police. However, advocates stress that if you know of someone in need of services, don't hesitate to call a service provider directly.
So many of our community agencies are connected, have agreements that allow them to connect families to each other.
And organizers say A-Cert is being well received in other Granite State communities. Laconia just launched a similar program. Concord is expected to follow suit in early fall.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Tonight, in many communities around New Hampshire, is the National Night Out event, and Deerfield, New Hampshire Police Department is hosting National Night Out event in Deerfield, first time hosting it, and National Night Out is an annual national community building campaign that promotes positive police and community partnerships. It is free and open to all. Come join us at the gazebo on Church Street for hamburgers, hot dogs, games, and much more in fun. Dow features point to a lower open after U.S. declares China a currency manipulator. U.S. stock index features were lower on Tuesday morning despite erasing some of the earlier losses as escalating trade tension continues to dominate investor sentiment. Former President Obama offers rare rebirth in wake of El Paso and Dayton shootings. Former President Barack Obama offered a rare criticism of government leadership in a tweet posted Monday afternoon in the wake of the shootings in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio, which took place within 15 hours of one another. And here is a look at that tweet. Take a look. And if you want to read more about this, we will have a link for you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. And that does it for this Tuesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.